My beloved chosen one, hear my voice tonight. I need you to stop scrolling right now. Do not move your finger. This is not another random video on your feed. The algorithm did not bring you here. This is a direct interception from heavenly realms. Your spirit has been restless for a very specific reason, and heaven has finally decided it is time for you to know the absolute truth about your life. You have been waking up at 3 in the morning. Your mind races wildly in the pitch dark. Your chest feels incredibly heavy. It feels like you are carrying a massive weight that nobody else in the world can even see. You lie there in the silence while the whole world is fast asleep. You wonder what you did wrong to deserve this exhaustion. You constantly ask heaven for a clear sign. The loneliness has been absolutely crushing you lately. People you trusted have suddenly walked away. Rooms you used to fit into now feel suffocating and entirely foreign. You feel like a total outsider in your own daily life. But I need you to listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. This sudden isolation is absolutely not a harsh curse. It is a highly intentional divine design. Let us talk about that strange tightness in your stomach. You feel it deeply every time your phone rings. You feel it when toxic people enter your space. Stop letting the world convince you that you are just dealing with ordinary and everyday physical stress. That is your spirit detecting a massive shift in your earthly timeline. Your intuition is practically screaming at you to pay attention. There is a highly hidden message inside your current struggle. It is something you will completely miss if you swipe away too soon. The darkness does not want you to hear these words. If you take your eyes off this screen right now, you will lose the exact key you desperately need to move forward. You will stay trapped in this exhausting cycle of relentless confusion. You give so much of your pure self to others. You are always the strong one. You smile for them when you are secretly breaking inside. And yet you receive so very little in return for your kindness. The bitter tears you cry in secret have not gone completely unnoticed by the highest divine powers. Every single drop has been recorded in the heavenly courts. You thought God was ignoring you. You thought this intense pain was a cruel punishment for your past mistakes. You analyzed every conversation to see exactly where you failed. I need you to stop doing that right now. You did not fail anyone during those highly difficult and confusing trials. You were simply too blinding for their comfortable and stagnant darkness. Heaven had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections. The reality is entirely different from what you currently see. Heaven has been closely watching your every courageous move. The spiritual realm is completely shifting around your beautiful aura. Those heavy attacks you have been facing recently are absolutely not random at all. They are hard proof that the evil enemy is desperately panicking. You are a massive threat to their dark plans. Here is the ultimate truth you desperately need to hear tonight. God smiles every single time he looks at your beautiful face. Yes, you heard me correctly. The grand creator of the universe is looking at your tired soul right now with absolute majestic pride. But there is a massive secret hidden behind that divine smile. It is a profound secret that will permanently change how you walk. But wait and listen closely. There is a deeper layer to this phenomenon that you must fully understand. If you leave this video in the middle, the promised blessing will still arrive, but you will not have the proper spiritual equipment to hold it safely. You will not know how to accurately handle the massive wealth transfer that is coming your way. You must stay anchored to this high frequency. You feel so incredibly unworthy and exhausted right now. You feel entirely shattered into countless broken little pieces. But heaven absolutely does not see a useless broken vessel. Heaven sees an incredibly brave warrior who survived the fiercest earthly battles without ever losing their pure and kind heart. Your resilience is the exact reason why the incredible divine favor is actively wrapping around you today. Let us talk about the heavy burden you are carrying right now. Why is your intuition alarming you constantly day and night? You feel tired down to your very bones. The deep exhaustion is absolutely not just physical anymore. It has seeped completely into your tired soul, and every single step feels like walking through thick mud, while the world simply watches your pain. You look around and see other people moving on with their easy lives, but your own path feels like a relentless uphill battle. You give your pure heart to people. They simply take it and walk away. And yet you are the one left bleeding on the cold floor while they celebrate their hollow victories without any remorse. Let us talk about the terrifying silence you have experienced recently. You prayed constantly for a sign. The sky felt like it was made of solid brass. You wondered if heaven had finally abandoned you in your darkest hour. You screamed for help in the middle of the night, but absolutely no one came to rescue your breaking heart when you needed them the most. You wipe your own tears. You pretend to be fine the very next morning. You put on a brave face for everyone around you. But inside you are quietly crumbling into a million pieces. That kind of hidden suffering takes an immense toll on a person, and it drains the very life force right out of your tired physical body. People have carelessly called you too sensitive over the years. They tell you that you overthink every single little detail. They make you believe your deep feelings are a massive flaw. They demand that you fix your emotions immediately. You started to seriously question your own sanity because their cruel and dismissive words deeply penetrated your fragile spiritual armor. I need you to stop believing their shallow lies right now. You are absolutely not crazy. You feel the subtle energy shifts in the room. Your intuition is incredibly sharp. You are a chosen one navigating a world of sleepers. They cannot see what you see, and they cannot feel the powerful spiritual currents that flow constantly through your human veins. They turned their backs on you. You needed them the most. The very people you stood up for suddenly vanished. Your own fierce storm arrived without any warning. That bitter betrayal cut deeper than any physical wound ever could, and you realized that their fake loyalty was entirely conditional upon your endless usefulness to them. You feel like a complete stranger in your own family. You sit in crowded rooms. You feel completely and utterly alone in the universe. The daily conversations around you seem so painfully shallow. They are completely devoid of any real meaning, while your ancient soul starves for a genuine and highly authentic spiritual connection with others. This profound loneliness is absolutely not a random accident. You were intentionally separated from the herd. Your spirit can no longer tolerate low vibrational environments. Your awakened soul is completely rejecting the fake connections. You have simply outgrown the tiny boxes they tried to keep you trapped inside, and heaven had to pull you out for your own absolute safety. The deep exhaustion you feel is a very heavy price. You are carrying too much light. You survive in a very dark and dense place. You constantly absorb the unspoken pain of everyone around you. You are always healing deep wounds that you did not even create, because your empathetic heart acts like a massive sponge for their hidden daily traumas. And yet you still try to see the good. You look past their obvious flaws. You forgive them long before they even offer an apology. That is simply the beautiful core of who you are. But your incredible empathy has been heavily weaponized against you by selfish individuals who only know how to take and constantly destroy everything around them. The narcissists loved your bright light. They had absolutely none of their own. They drained your precious energy to fuel their empty egos. They took everything you had to offer. And when you finally had absolutely nothing left to give, they coldly discarded you without a single second thought or an ounce of genuine human regret. You severely questioned your own worth after they walked away. You wondered if you were simply unlovable. You felt permanently broken inside. It has absolutely nothing to do with your immense value, but you must deeply understand that their complete inability to love you is a glaring reflection of their own internal emotional rot. The terrifying silence from heaven was not a cruel rejection. It was a crucial period of strict divine observation. Heaven was closely watching your every move. You handled the ultimate betrayal with immense grace. You were being rigorously tested in the fiery furnace of intense human disappointment, and you managed to maintain your kind and highly forgiving nature. You survived the raging storm completely and utterly alone. You became your own steady anchor. The entire world decided to let you drown. You proved your undeniable strength. That rare level of spiritual resilience is exactly why the vast universe has marked you for greatness and absolute victory over your current and future enemies. I need to answer the burning question in your mind. Why is your sharp intuition alarming you constantly? Things seem relatively quiet on the surface. You feel a strange buzzing energy vibrating beneath your skin. Your physical body feels like it is actively preparing for a massive and completely unprecedented event that will totally shock everyone around you. Your sensitive energy system is actively detecting a massive shift. The long and terrifying silence is finally breaking apart. The spiritual atmosphere around you is crackling. Immense divine power is gathering right at this very moment. Your ancient soul intuitively knows that the difficult waiting season has officially come to a glorious and rewarding end. Tap the like button as an act of powerful agreement. God just spoke directly to your tired heart. Your simple physical action creates a powerful, energetic bridge. You are now fully ready to receive the incoming blessing. Do not let this vital moment pass you by in passive silence, because you must acknowledge the divine truth resonating within you. Why did the closest people leave your life so suddenly? You asked yourself this painful question 1,000,000 times. You stared blindly at the ceiling. You begged heaven for a logical reason. The sudden abandonment by your closest friends felt like a physical blow to your chest, and it completely shattered your deep trust in humanity. You thought their departure was a clear sign of your own failure. You convinced yourself that you were simply too difficult to love. But I need you to completely erase that toxic narrative right now. Their sudden exit from your daily life was absolutely not a divine punishment for your perceived personal flaws. It was a rigorous and highly necessary spiritual protocol. You were placed into a strict state of divine isolation. God saw the hidden daggers they were holding behind their backs while they smiled at you. Heaven had to violently shake your world to force those toxic energy vampires out of your sacred space. You cried over closed doors. You mourned the painful loss of relationships. You desperately wanted to keep them forever. But heaven was actively protecting you from dangerous rooms you were never meant to enter. If you had stayed in those comfortable spaces, your bright light would have been completely extinguished. Your spiritual frequency was rising far too fast for them to handle. You were evolving into a master of reality while they remained comfortable in their shallow illusions. They could not manipulate your kind heart anymore. And because they could not control your powerful spirit, they decided to completely destroy your reputation instead. They whispered terrible lies about you in the dark. They turned your mutual friends against you. You felt entirely helpless against their highly coordinated and cruel attacks, but their malicious slander was actually a brilliant divine filter. It efficiently removed everyone who was not genuinely loyal to your beautiful soul. You have always been the gentle empath. You constantly begged to be understood by them. You compromised your own strict boundaries just to keep the fragile peace in the room. You gave them 1,000 second chances when they absolutely deserved none. But your immense kindness was slowly becoming a fatal weakness in this dark world. Heaven had to teach you a very hard lesson about spiritual warfare. The intense pain you suffered was a necessary crucible. It was specifically designed to burn away your naive people-pleasing habits. You had to learn how to wield your heavy silence like a sharp sword. And you finally stopped apologizing for simply existing. Every time you cried alone on the cold bathroom floor, you were literally shedding your old victim identity. You were breaking the heavy chains of generational trauma. The profound loneliness was a highly effective incubator for your immense spiritual power. You were quietly transforming in the dark while they thought you were dying. I want to completely absolve you of your heavy guilt right now. You did not ruin those past relationships. You did not chase the good things away. The universe deliberately caused those fragile connections to fail. The universe violently rejected them because they were secretly assigned to completely drain your massive divine destiny. Look back at the long and terrifying silence you just survived. It was the most beautiful gift you could ever receive from the Creator. You learned how to hear your own authentic inner voice. You stopped seeking shallow validation from broken people who could not even love themselves properly. You became deeply anchored in your own truth. You might feel like you are so far behind everyone else in life. You watch them buy houses and celebrate their hollow milestones. But you are a chosen one on a completely different earthly timeline. God is taking extra time to carefully prepare your massive blessing because it is a permanent generational wealth transfer. A massive oak tree takes many long years to build a solid root system. It grows slowly in the dark and silent dirt. A cheap weed sprouts up overnight and quickly dies in the harsh sun. You are the mighty oak tree. Your period of painful isolation was simply the necessary time needed to grow your incredibly deep roots. It is time to stop looking backward with deep regret today. Stop wondering what would have happened if you had just tried harder. They were never meant to cross the glorious finish line with you. Let their fading memory completely go. You cannot carry their heavy dead weight into your highly favored new timeline. You are no longer the frightened victim. You do not beg for a tiny seat at their crowded table anymore. You have finally realized that you are the table. Your pure energy now demands absolute respect, without a single word being spoken. The painful season of divine isolation has successfully completed its grueling and necessary work. You must understand this profound truth before we move forward. The empty space around you right now is not a barren wasteland. It is a highly cleared construction site. Heaven has completely bulldozed your painful past, and the grand architect of the universe is about to build a majestic palace on your solid ground. That is exactly why they had to leave your life permanently. But there is a much darker mechanism. It was actively working against you during that entire time. It was a highly organized spiritual attack designed to keep you poor and depressed. You need to know exactly how they tried to break your beautiful mind. Do not ignore this next sign. The dark forces heavily relied on your ignorance. They wanted to steal your promised blessings. They wanted you to remain trapped in a perpetual cycle of immense guilt and deep shame. But the brilliant light of truth is finally exposing their wicked traps today. You are about to discover their ultimate secret. Let me explain the highly hidden mechanism operating behind your back. Why did the darkness target you so relentlessly? There is a massive spiritual war happening right now, and you are not merely a helpless bystander. You are a crucial high-value target in a battle for the very future of human consciousness. You must understand that the enemy is not fighting you because you are weak. They are heavily attacking you because you are a massive anomaly in their system. The dark elite rely entirely on a sleeping population to maintain their total control. They need people to remain completely blind, highly stressed, and deeply compliant to their rules. But you woke up. You started questioning the fake reality they built. You refused to accept their toxic narrative of endless suffering. Your awakened consciousness acted like a massive virus in their carefully programmed matrix. Your bright light began to expose their dark lies, and that made you incredibly dangerous to their entire evil operation. You are a powerful weapon of light, but a raw weapon is absolutely useless until it is properly forged in extreme heat. The immense suffering you endured was the intense fire of the divine crucible. You were thrown into the blazing furnace of intense human betrayal to burn away all your lingering earthly attachments. If heaven had simply handed you the massive wealth and immense power immediately, you would have completely destroyed yourself. You were too incredibly soft. You would have given your vast resources to the wrong people. The narcissists would have easily manipulated your kind heart to steal your massive generational blessing. God had to break your deep addiction to pleasing other people. He had to force you to establish strict and unbreakable boundaries. The intense pain of rejection was the only way to harden your spiritual armor. You had to learn how to walk completely alone so you would never compromise your pure values just to feel deeply loved. The dark forces thought their vicious attacks were breaking your spirit. They threw every single obstacle they could find into your narrow path. They sent highly toxic people to drain your precious energy. They created massive financial blockages to keep you living in a constant state of deep fear and pure survival. But they made a catastrophic miscalculation. They completely underestimated the sheer power of your resilient spirit. Every time they pushed you down into the dark dirt, your deep roots grew much stronger. Every time they broke your kind heart, it healed back twice as hard. Their relentless pressure literally turned you into a magnificent diamond. You became the mighty weapon you were desperately trying to survive. The intense trials did not destroy your beautiful soul. They simply refined your incredibly sharp intuition. You can now spot a toxic liar from a mile away. You can feel a dark, demonic entity hiding behind a fake and friendly smile. This is exactly why your profound isolation was so highly necessary. You were being rigorously trained in the deep wilderness. Think of the greatest prophets and fierce warriors in history. They did not become powerful by resting in comfortable palaces. They were forged in the harsh desert, and they fought wild beasts alone in the dark. You are a cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. Your family has been trapped in heavy cycles of deep poverty and toxic abuse for many generations. You are the specific chosen one, assigned to permanently break those heavy chains. The immense weight of that noble mission is exactly why your life has been so incredibly difficult. You are fighting battles your ancestors could not win. You are healing deep wounds that have been bleeding for centuries. The dark forces are absolutely terrified of your impending victory. They know that once you step into your full power, you will completely liberate everyone around you. You will permanently dismantle their dark, earthly kingdom. The enemy wants you to remain stuck in perpetual self-doubt. They want you to believe that your intense suffering is a clear sign of divine rejection. They whisper dark lies into your tired mind late at night. They tell you that you are completely worthless and entirely forgotten by the grand creator of the vast universe. But I need you to reject those dark lies completely. Your current, painful struggles are the very proof of your high divine ranking. God does not waste his hottest fires on cheap and worthless metals. He only intensely refines the purest gold. Your massive trials are the absolute confirmation of your incredibly high spiritual value. The enemy is rapidly losing their total control over your life. Your heavy silence is completely stripping away their dark power. They thrive on chaotic drama and intense emotional reactions. But you have learned the incredible power of quiet authority. You simply watch them panic, while you remain deeply anchored in your own inner peace. This profound realization changes absolutely everything. You are no longer a victim of their cruel circumstances. You are the powerful master of your own reality. The deep pain was not a harsh punishment. It was your rigorous spiritual initiation. You have successfully completed the hardest training program in the entire universe. The dark forces are actively watching your incredible transformation with sheer terror. They know their time is up, but they have one final desperate trick left to play. There is a specific sign that confirms the incredible blessing is almost here. But there is also a very dangerous trap waiting right at the finish line. Type 111 or Amen down in the comments to claim this powerful alignment right now. You must physically acknowledge your true identity. You are a chosen one. You are a fierce warrior of light. Claim your rightful place in the universe. Do not let the enemy steal this vital moment of total clarity. They thought you were completely finished. They walked away expecting you to blindly chase them in the dark. They wanted you to constantly beg for their tiny breadcrumbs of affection, but you did something completely unexpected that deeply terrified their dark souls. You gave them your absolute and heavy silence. Your sudden quietness hit them like a massive physical blow. They normally thrive on your desperate emotional reactions, and they desperately need your tears to feel incredibly powerful and relevant in their empty and chaotic lives. But you completely starved them of their favorite toxic fuel, and now they are the ones starving. Let me tell you exactly what is happening behind the closed doors right now. They are aggressively watching your every single move in secret. They check your profiles using fake accounts late at night. They constantly ask mutual friends if you are struggling without their presence. They are completely obsessed with your sudden peace. They fully expected to see you completely broken and crying on the floor. But instead they see a majestic being rising from the dark ashes. They see a glowing aura of quiet authority surrounding your entire physical body. They finally realize you did not break under their extreme pressure. You simply evolved into an untouchable masterpiece. The hidden power dynamic has completely and permanently flipped. They used to hold all the emotional control in the toxic relationship. You used to walk on fragile eggshells just to avoid their sudden explosive anger. But now, your heavy silence commands absolute respect from everyone. You are the one holding the supreme spiritual high ground today. And here is the most shocking part of this divine justice. Everything they built on a dark foundation of lies is currently crumbling to the cold ground. The vast universe is actively dismantling their fake and highly shallow reality. The toxic people they foolishly chose over you are now turning against them. They are finally tasting their own bitter medicine. They do not hate you for shining so beautifully in the dark. They hate you because your pure light completely exposed their carefully hidden shadows. Your high vibration made them incredibly uncomfortable with their own wicked behavior. That is exactly why they had to leave your sacred space so suddenly. It was the ultimate divine protection protocol. They foolishly thought your gentle, quiet nature was a clear sign of pathetic weakness. They thought they could easily manipulate your forgiving and generous heart forever. But the profound silence after the storm hits entirely different when they finally realize that you were the raging storm all along. You became the absolute master of your reality. The narcissists are sitting in their dark rooms right now, filled with immense regret. They know they permanently lost the rarest soul they will ever meet in their miserable earthly lives. They try to quickly replace you with highly shallow and compliant victims. But absolutely nobody can ever match the pure divine energy you effortlessly brought to the table. They desperately want to return to steal your bright light again. They desperately want to test your strict boundaries to see if you are still weak and vulnerable. But heaven has securely placed a massive flaming sword at the entrance of your spiritual garden. They can see your beautiful paradise from a distance, but they can never enter it again. God does not ask you to seek bitter revenge against your past enemies. He simply asks you to sit back and quietly watch the majestic divine justice unfold. The exact same people who carelessly mocked your painful struggles are now facing the exact same intense battles. But they absolutely do not have the strong spiritual armor that you carefully built. You do not need to harbor any heavy rage in your gentle heart anymore. Your ultimate revenge is your completely unbothered and highly radiant success. Your profound inner peace is the absolute greatest punishment you could ever inflict on a toxic narcissist. Let them completely drown in the shallow, muddy puddles they proudly created for themselves. Heaven is literally preparing a massive banquet table for you right now. And it is being carefully prepared in the direct presence of your worst enemies. They are forced to watch you freely receive the incredible generational blessing they actively tried to destroy. They must quietly witness your glorious and highly public spiritual crowning. This beautiful moment is the undeniable proof that your massive spiritual upgrade is officially complete. You no longer feel a desperate need to explain your valid choices to anyone in the world. You simply exist in your incredibly high frequency, and your mere existence deeply terrifies the dark entities that once thought they could easily control your beautiful destiny. You are now completely immune to their low vibrational manipulation tactics. When they try to throw dark energy your way, it simply bounces off your impenetrable shield. They are violently choking on the very poison they eagerly poured for you. The universe has fully vindicated your pure heart while leaving them totally empty-handed. But you must be incredibly careful in this exact defining moment. The dark enemy absolutely knows they have permanently lost the spiritual war, but they will definitely try one last desperate tactic to heavily distract you from the incoming miracle. There are specific physical signs happening right now that vividly prove the massive wealth transfer is already at your front door. You have been seeing strange numerical synchronicities in your daily life. You have felt completely bizarre physical sensations that entirely defy normal medical logic. These are absolutely not random coincidences at all. These are the undeniable heavenly markers of your impending massive victory. Listen closely to this next part. You desperately need to know exactly how to recognize them. Let me give you the 3 physical signs of your impending miracle. Number 1 is the constant appearance of repeating numbers everywhere you look. You see 111 or 777 constantly on the clock or on random license plates. This is absolutely not a mere coincidence. The angels are literally hacking the physical matrix to catch your attention. They are leaving clear breadcrumbs of hope to prove that your timeline is shifting. Number 2 is the sudden manifestation of extreme inner peace during absolute chaos. The world around you might be completely falling apart today. Your bank account might be completely empty right now, but you inexplicably feel a deep and joyful calmness resting heavily in your chest. This bizarre peace entirely defies human logic. It is the undeniable physical sensation of the Holy Spirit wrapping completely around your tired soul. But before we go to the final and most powerful sign, I must address something critical. There is a fatal trap being set up right at the finish line. 99% of chosen ones fall for this massive illusion right before their major breakthrough. The dark forces will send a highly toxic counterfeit from your past to desperately distract you. Do not answer their sudden message. That is the ultimate test. Now let us return to the third and most important sign. Number 3 is an undeniable deep knowing that you have already won the massive war. You wake up with a strange feeling of triumphant victory before anything good even happens. This is the exact moment when God looks down from the heavenly throne and smiles brightly at your immense courage. He is incredibly proud of your solid resilience. God is smiling because the heavy weight is finally over. The angels are actively organizing a massive and completely unprecedented wealth transfer in your specific name. Every single tear you cried in the dark has been physically collected to water the fertile seeds of your new timeline. The massive harvest is literally bursting from the dark soil right now. You are about to step into unprecedented earthly abundance. You survived the brutal spiritual attacks without ever becoming bitter or cold. That is an incredibly rare achievement in this dark world. Most people allow their deep trauma to turn them into cruel monsters. but you used your intense pain to become a glowing beacon of profound empathy. And that is exactly why the universe is legally bound to reward you with massive generational wealth today. Take a deep breath. Let that powerful truth settle deep into your spirit right now. You have endured the harshest winters of complete spiritual isolation. The narcissists heavily tried to bury you under their dark and suffocating lies, but they completely forgot that you were a divine seed. You are finally breaking through the hard dirt to reach the glorious morning sun. The Creator is literally handing you the master keys to the earthly kingdom. The closed doors that heavily frustrated you for years are suddenly flying wide open. You will not even have to fight for these incredible new opportunities. The divine favor resting upon your life will automatically draw massive financial blessings and genuine love directly into your peaceful, sacred space. You are standing on the very edge of absolute glory. The spiritual atmosphere is incredibly thick with divine anticipation right now. The majestic smile of God is actively melting away every dark blockage in your chosen path. You have successfully passed every single brutal test with flying colors, but you must fully activate this immense power within yourself to completely claim the ultimate prize. Listen closely to what heaven absolutely requires from you next. Every single angel in the heavenly realms is currently celebrating your imminent victory. They are sounding the divine trumpets to announce your triumphant return to the light. The long and painful season of endless crying is officially over. Prepare your mind and body for the greatest energetic shift of your entire human existence. The moment of total activation is finally here. The ultimate awakening has finally arrived today. The universe is standing completely still to witness your incredible rise. You are no longer the frightened empath who begged to be understood by broken people. The intense crucible of pain has permanently forged you into the absolute master of your earthly reality. Every dark chain is shattering into dust right now. Feel that massive surge of divine energy rushing through your chest. The Holy Spirit is actively downloading the supreme blueprint of generational wealth into your mind. The heavy veil of dark illusion has been completely ripped away from your eyes. You can finally see the grand design behind your endless crying. The brutal suffering was simply your royal coronation ceremony. Heaven deliberately hid you in the dark shadows for your own protection. God was secretly building an impenetrable fortress around your beautiful soul while the enemy mocked you. But the glorious morning sun is finally breaking over your spiritual horizon today. The long season of terrifying silence has officially ended. You are stepping into a highly triumphant new era. Every closed door is literally being blown off its hinges right now. The vast universe is rapidly aligning the perfect circumstances to deliver your promised generational blessings. You do not have to fight the exhausting earthly battles anymore. Your quiet authority is doing all the heavy lifting for you. The dark entities that once tormented your mind are fleeing in absolute terror. You have become a massive beacon of blinding divine light. Your mere presence effortlessly commands deep respect from everyone who enters your sacred space. People will look at your sudden success and wonder how you survived the storm. But you will simply smile, because you fully understand the great secret. The grand creator of the universe smiled upon your solid faith today. The massive wealth transfer is no longer just a distant spiritual promise. It is a highly physical reality manifesting right in front of your eyes. The ancient blockages in your bloodline have been completely destroyed by your relentless perseverance. You are the mighty cycle breaker your ancestors desperately prayed for in the dark. Your incredible victory is literally rewriting history today. Let the absolute euphoria of this divine truth wash over your tired body. The heavy weight of constant survival mode is permanently lifting off your shoulders right now. You can finally breathe deeply without any fear of an impending disaster. God has placed a massive protective dome over your highly favored timeline. Nothing can ever steal the joy that heaven has assigned to your name. Your glorious destiny is legally locked and secured in the heavenly courts. The wicked narcissists cannot touch a single drop of your massive incoming harvest. They are permanently banned from entering your new frequency of absolute abundance. You are entirely free to explore the boundless possibilities of your magnificent kingdom. The beautiful reward for your deep loyalty is finally here. But you must actively claim this immense power before the enemy casts another shadow. The universe requires a bold declaration of your new identity. You cannot simply stay quiet and let this glorious moment pass you by. Your spirit needs to officially sign the divine contract of extreme wealth and deep peace. You must create an unbreakable seal around your physical body today. The pitch-black darkness has completely retreated behind you forever. The dawn of the glorious new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown right now. You feel an incredible rush of divine energy, elevating your soul to the highest dimension. The angels are eagerly waiting for you to accept your rightful place. You must lock in this high frequency immediately. If you leave this sacred space without sealing the energetic bond, you leave your spiritual door slightly open for the enemy. The dark forces will constantly try to sneak back in and steal your profound peace. You must permanently close that door by performing a physical act of absolute faith. You must prove to the vast universe that you are fully ready to receive the ultimate blessing. Listen carefully as the divine instructions echo directly into your spirit. The massive shift in your reality requires a firm physical anchor to make it entirely permanent. You have done all the grueling internal work over the past few years. Now you must physically step into the brilliant light and loudly declare your victory. The Grand Creator is watching your response in this exact second. Do not let any lingering fear hold you back from claiming your massive reward. Your tired soul has desperately waited for this exact moment of pure liberation. The heavy chains are broken and the prison doors are wide open. Walk out of the dark cave of isolation and boldly claim the magnificent crown. You are the ultimate master of reality, and your command is absolute law today. Heaven has handed you the ultimate blueprint for generational abundance and true love. You possess the divine authority to completely shape your physical world using only your powerful thoughts. The old reality of pain and lack is completely dead and buried in the past. Welcome to your glorious new life of effortless manifestation. Let the deep healing energy completely consume you right now. The divine timing of this specific message is absolutely perfect. You needed to hear these exact words today to finally release the heavy burdens of your painful past. You are a radiant being of supreme light and endless possibilities. The universe is actively conspiring to bring you the most beautiful and fulfilling human experiences. Step boldly into your high frequency and never look back at the fading shadows again. This is your final decree of absolute victory. The heavenly realms have officially poured their golden light over your entire existence. Every single tear you shed in the dark has now transformed into a massive shield of divine protection. The Grand Creator is looking down at you right now, and he is smiling deeply at the magnificent master of reality you have finally become today. But you must actively lock this high frequency into your physical body right now. Spiritual energy requires a firm earthly anchor to remain entirely permanent in this realm. If you simply walk away without making a bold declaration, you leave your precious blessing vulnerable to the wind. You must permanently seal this powerful reality before you do anything else today. I need you to physically claim this exact timeline. Type Amen down in the comments below right now to seal this glorious reality forever. This is absolutely not just a simple comment on an ordinary video. It is your official spiritual signature on the divine contract of immense generational wealth and profound peace. Put your foot down and proudly claim your ultimate prize today. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside you, do not keep this great blessing to yourself. There is another beautiful soul out there, bleeding in the dark of despair. They are desperately needing a guiding light to survive their own storm. Share this powerful message with them immediately. Sowing the seed of pure hope today is multiplying the massive blessing for yourself tomorrow. Hit the subscribe button to establish a permanent divine energy receiving station on your device. You are no longer fighting these heavy battles alone in the cold dark. Heaven is walking right beside you now. Go out into the world and shine your blinding light without any apology. You are deeply loved, entirely protected, and profoundly chosen. I will see you in the next divine transmission.